She is also one of our golden children we have at Illmi Children's Fund. She is our monitoring and evaluation officer. Anything that has to do with process improvement, program feedback, and all, you can always count Abigail to be that ideal person to go to. At some point in this journey, you get to know her better. She'll be interfacing with some of you, especially with those that want to go into the monitoring and evaluation niche in the development space. And then that brings me to Tovia Moore. Tovia Moore did a great job last week by, anchoring or moderating the session. But I think it's ideal I introduce her to us all. She's our facilitator today. It looks like though I've known her for years, but again, I just quickly read by you. Okay, Tovia Moore is a program development professional dedicated to ensuring that literacy and education are not privileges, they are rights. With over 3 years of experience working with underserved children, she brings both strategic depth and genuine art to every initiative she leads. As a published author and the award Global Youth Ambassador, Tovia advocates for children's literacy on the global stage. I can attest to that. At Illmi Children's Fund, she designs and leads programs that build safe, inclusive learning environment and places where children don't just gain access to education, but are given the foundation to grow into their fullest self. I'm one of the individuals she signed to grow to, meet my full potential. She believes that sustainable development requires all hands on deck. She will be facilitating the session, like I mentioned earlier, on understanding development, humanitarian systems, and the role of youth in the development space. Please, with our reaction, please let's make welcome Tovia Moore. Please react. Send us an emoji. Thank you, Sadia. I can't see. Okay, Lillian, thank you. And before we continue, I come from a part of Nigeria. In fact, as Nigerians, we always acknowledge the presence of our elders. We have in our midst this morning, not just an individual, an individual who started this dream, the Illmi Children's Fund dream, 15 years ago. Without her, over 4,000 lives wouldn't have been impacted. And it gives me joy to welcome our leader, the founder and executive director of Illmi Children's Fund, one time UN recognized awardee, Mrs. Miriam Algier. She's joining us. Please, let's react. We welcome Mrs. Miriam Algier. Thank you very much. And over to you. Ma, do you have any word for us, or probably towards the end of the training session? Okay. So.
Okay. Mr. Lee?
Yes.
Okay, she will have a dedicated time to speak. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you very much. Over to you, Tovia, our super facilitator for today's session. Over to you, Tovia.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, can you hear me? Yes, I can hear you.
Please, just a little house keeping rules before we start, so that we all can be on the same page. Please, everyone, kindly keep your microphones muted unless you're invited to speak. And please, like I said the other time, if you have any question, please feel free to use the chat box, and I will answer your question at the end of the facilitation. And please, we encourage you, I implore you, please, to stay throughout the end of the session, so that we can have a full and gain a full experience and knowledge. Thank you so much, everyone. Over to you, Tovia. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much, Abigail. Thank you, Aliu, for that thunderous introduction. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. One funny thing, the way you always call my name, Tovia Moore, as if I think it's M-O-R-E, like there's more to me, Tovia Moore. I love that. Thank you so much. Why is everybody's camera off? I would like to see our change makers, please. You can just put on your camera for a brief minute. Let me see your faces. Let me see the people that we're interacting with today, please. Just put on your camera, wave, and then you can put it back off. Thank you. Hi, Sadia. Thank you so much for putting on your camera. Hi, Lillian. Okay. Hi, Olga. Thank you. Who else? Isa and Rabiat. Please, could you put on your camera for us? Sadia as well. And Yahaya and Hillary. Please put on your cameras for us. Let's just see your face. Okay. All right. Simon, thank you. Sadia, thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, that is good. Rabia, thank you. All right. Thank you so much. That is wonderful. Thank you guys so much for putting on your cameras for us. You can put that off. We understand that the network can be, a bit unstable, so you can put off your camera. I'm also going to be putting off my own camera right now for the sake of presentation. Aliu, should I go ahead and present, or would you be able to? Aliu? Hello, Aliu, can you hear me?
Yeah, let me present. I think let me present so it's easier for you.
All right, no problem. Okay, guys. All right, thank you.
Always say next slide. Can you see
okay. Yeah. All right. Yes, I can see that. Thank you so much. Yeah. All right, guys. Good morning once again. And today, our topic is on youth development, introduction to development practice, understanding development, humanitarian systems, and the role of youth in development. And I'm going to be your facilitator for today. My name is Tobia Moore, just like Aliu would say. All right, Aliu, next slide, please. Yeah, thank you. First of all, we're going to begin by examining two scenarios, all right? We have a community, we're going to call it community A, and we have the second community, community B. So for community A has these issues: poverty and insecurity, poor access to services, limited opportunities, and inequality persist in community A. While for community B, they have quality schools, functioning health centers, there's lots of empowerment opportunities, and then the community is thriving. Why do you think these differences exist in these communities? This is a question to all the change makers. If you have something to say, please raise your hand. I'll call on you, and then you can unmute your mic and speak to us. Why do you think these differences exist in these communities? Please feel free, anyone. Just indicate by raising your hand, and I would call on you to give us your reasons. Remember, this session, we are learning together. Knowledge is not flowing just from me. We are all expected to contribute and to say something. And there is no wrong answer. There is no right answer. We are all learning together. So please do not be shy. If you have something to say, kindly just indicate, and you will be called upon to say something. Anyone? Joanna, you want to say something?
Okay, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, it's actually because the leadership has the people at hand, has the people at mind. It has to do with the leadership.
Okay, if I get you correctly, you're saying this problem persists because, for example, community A, their leadership doesn't have the needs of the people at heart, while community B, the leadership has the needs of the people at heart.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing. That is wonderful. Thank you. Any other person? that would like to share something? Do you have any other contributions? All right, thank you so much for sharing that with us, Joanna. I'm not going to give a reason why this problem persists. At the end of our discussion today, we're going to find out together. But that is a wonderful contribution, Joanna. Let's proceed. Aliu, please, next page. So here are today's learning objectives. By the end of this session, participants will understand the concept of development, understand development practice and humanitarian systems, explore key principles guiding development work, understand how development actors collaborate, learn systems thinking approaches, understand the role of youth as development actors, and then begin identifying solutions to community challenges. Next page, please. All right, thank you. Our next page says, why does development exist? And I have here, development exists because opportunities, resources, and power are not equally distributed. Here is another instance. Let's imagine this. We have two kids, right? Child A and child B. For child A lives in Abuja. Child A attends a very good school, probably a private school, has internet access, has educated parents, has access to healthcare. And then here's child B. Child B lives in a remote rural community. Child B has to walk several kilometers every day just to get to school. Child B has no access to healthcare, experiences food insecurity, and maybe that child B might also be forced into child labor. So for my participants, did either of these children choose where they were born or the situations that they were born into? Please, you can respond though.
No, they didn't.
No, they did not.
Right.
No, they did not. Are they facing the same life realities?
They
Would
are
you say
not.
they are facing the same life realities?
No, no.
Definitely not. Definitely not the same life reality. Yeah.
Definitely not the same life realities. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for sharing. So such opportunities that we're talking about that are not equally distributed, that we have things like poverty, gender inequality, youth unemployment, limited education access, violence and insecurity, and then environmental challenges. Now let's go deep into what we're talking about for today. What is development? Development is the process of improving people's quality of life, expanding opportunities, and enabling individuals to reach their full potential. Emphasis on improving the quality of people's lives by expanding opportunities and enabling them to reach their full potentials. I don't know, sometime a few years ago, there was this narrative that the Nigerian youth are lazy. Did you guys hear something like that? I don't know if it was maybe 2, 3, when I think it was when Buhari was in power, there was this narrative that was going around that the Nigerian youth are lazy. Is anyone familiar with this?
Yes.
You all heard it. Do you
Yeah,
believe
we
it to
did.
be true? Do you believe that the
It's not.
Nigerian youth that were lazy?
It's not true. Can't be true.
Okay, let me hear your reasons, please. Why do you think it's not true?
It's not true because in our society today,
Mm-hmm.
Nigerian youth is really contributing in different aspects, in different fields. Nigerian youth is doing so much. So yeah, it's not true. Even if we
Okay.
go outside the country, you will see that Nigerian youth are still thriving outside. So it's not true.
So why do you think that narrative came up? What do you think is the reason behind that narrative coming up? Why do you think they said that?
Because of Nigerian youth were complaining, citing the hardship,
Mm,
and they said
mm,
because we're also complaining concerning the job security. I think that was why he brought that statement.
Okay,
mm.
Nigerian youth were complaining about job
Job
scarcity
insecurity, yeah.
and job
Yeah.
insecurity. That was why the narrative came about. Okay, all right. Thank you so much for
Mm,
sharing. We're getting somewhere. Oh. Please stay with me.
mm.
Somebody is saying something. I think someone's microphone is on.
Oh, oh yeah, it's mine. I wanted saying something, but I think it's fine. We can just go
No, please go ahead and say it. Ooh, every opinion counts. We'd
on.
love to hear from you as well.
Yeah, she said it because when you said when you asked the question that an Nigerian youth lazy, I think that is something
Mm-hmm.
I keep saying to myself because I think for us as young people in Nigeria, it
Mm-hmm.
it is triple the work of people from other countries or other continents. So that keeps us at a very very distance of even talking about laziness. So whenever recently when we had this there was this saga the money point man that made
Yeah,
that
yes, the money
statement.
points. Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
I
I saw
remember.
the controversy and all. And to be honest,
Mm-hmm.
it's something that I didn't get into because for me, I already had my opinion, and it's an opinion of okay, they might not be, we might have limited opportunities here, but nobody's
Mm-hmm.
coming out to say we are lazy because I've seen people juggle 5 jobs, like in their 20s, they are juggling 5 jobs, like young people doing a lot of things, and we just can't say we are lazy. The climate might not be favorable to us, but definitely we are not lazy.
I'm not lazy. All right, thank you. But then, did you also listen to the other side of the narrative? The reason why the money points man said what he said. Did you bother to check to hear from his own side?
Yes, honestly, there was a lot of arguments back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, public those kind of controversies, I don't really like. If I don't have time, it's something that I like to take my time to really go into
on,
because if
on,
you are reading so many posts from different people, you might just get lost in them. And I know, yes, they might be the reason. I can't really say the real reason why he made mention of such, but then I knew that they had to be reasons. Okay, maybe reasons of opportunities and
mm-hmm.
how we manage these opportunities and thinking of access and how Nigerians are. Would I say anyhow nesting? I don't know, but
Of
I won't
course,
say it. Yeah,
I
I
love
won't
what
say
you
I know
mentioned. The
exactly. Yeah,
anyhowness, the
yeah.
anyhowness in Nigeria is actually a very big problem. But then one might look at from the surface level, the anyhowness problem might be looked at as a people's problem. Maybe Nigerians are not interested in improving. Nigerians are not interested in getting better. But then, as
Uh,
development practitioners, right? When a statement like young people are lazy, the youth are lazy comes up, a development practitioner would ask some certain questions that would give you clearer insights as to why that statement comes up. One of them is, are there enough jobs? For one, for you to even term somebody lazy, are there enough jobs? And then these people are just simply refusing to, you know, apply to jobs or refusing to work. Do young people have the relevant skills for the existing jobs, right? For example, now the world is moving towards AI, artificial intelligence, technology, and all of that. Do we, as youth in Nigeria, do we have the relevant skills to be able to compete on a global scale for these existing jobs? Is there access to finance? This is one of the most annoying one right now because our Naira card, our MasterCard is almost as if it's useless because you can barely use it to perform international transactions and it's frustrating. So there are several opportunities out there, even courses that you might need to undertake. And then when it's time for you to make payments, your country's card is not even worthy of making such a payment for you to get a relevant skill. Our business is growing. Are policies supportive? Now we are all hearing tax, 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 tax. These taxes, are they supporting existing businesses or are they there to cripple them? So these are some of the relevant questions that a development practitioner would ask in order to truly assess situations and profile lasting solutions to them. Are we following?
Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah. All right, thank you. Aliu, next slide, please. All right. So how development thinking has evolved. This development that we're talking about did not just start today. It's not a today's thingy, right? It's been there right from beginning. So at first in the 1950s, development thinking was around economic growth as development. The people of that time were like, you know what? If we invest in economics, if we focus on industries, factories, GDP growth, and infrastructure, there will be more development to our people. So basically, the assumption was more money, more development. Once there's more money going around, there will be more development in the world. And remember, this was just immediately after the World War II in the 1950s. Then after they invested in the GDP, economic growth, and all of that, some countries became richer, yet the poverty still remained, yet inequality still increased, and many people still remained excluded. And then people started asking that time, if the economy is growing, there's more money going around, then why are people still suffering? Why do we still have so much suffering in our society? Then they said what? In the 1970s, they said let them shift from economic growth as development. Let's us focus on poverty reduction. That was around the 1970s. So development practitioners realized that economic growth alone wasn't enough. And then the attention shifted to poorer communities, basic needs, access to food, access to water, access to healthcare. Then the question now became, how do we reduce poverty directly? You know, the first one in the 1950s was, how do we make more money? How do we increase the economic output of our nations? So after that one didn't really work, it didn't give them the results that they were looking for. They now shifted to reduction of poverty. Then after that, that wasn't still enough. It now shifted to the 1990s. Attention now shifted to human development framework. Experts began asking, what if development is really about the people, not just about the money, not just about building infrastructures, building new schools, building new hospitals, building a lot of things, and not just about economic growth. And this led to the human development approach. And the focus now became on education, focus became on health, focus became on well-being, freedom, and then opportunities. From there, they now move to what we currently have today, which is inclusion, sustainability, and which is the stage 4, modern development thinking. And this practice is all centered around nobody should be left behind. I'm sure you've heard all of these principles before, leaving no one behind. Whatever we're doing, we should carry everybody along. People living with disabilities, everybody, boys, girls, women, nobody should be left behind. Then the participation communities began to shape solutions, and then sustainability became the center of everything. All solutions that we are developing for our communities should be able to last and outlive maybe a project life cycle. So now let's look at something right here, right? So before, if they built a school, they would say, oh, development has taken place. You know, they built a school, one very big school, development has taken place. But now with this recent approach, you'll be asking questions like, we've built this school, but are the kids attending the school? Is this school safe enough for girls to attend? Are the kids actually learning? Are kids with disability able to access this school? Will this school still be able to function in the next 5 years? Let's take, for example, during Goodluck Jonathan's regime, he had built this Almajiri centers. I can't remember the state now, but then he had refurbished the school. You know, there was lots of complaints like, okay, Almajiris, they need to go to school. So he built the school. He hoped that, yes, after building this school, making it better, Almajiri kids will be able to go to school. Does anyone here know what happened to those schools that Goodluck Jonathan built for the Almajiri kids? Does anyone have any idea what happened to those schools?
For me, I didn't hear anything about the school.
You didn't. Were you aware that Goodluck had built Almajiri schools during his tenure?
Yes, I was aware.
You were aware?
No, no, I'm not aware.
You're not aware. Is anybody in this group aware of the fact that Goodluck had, refurbished the
In
Almajiri schooling system before during his tenure? Hillary said she's aware, but he doesn't know what happened to the schools. Any other person?
I think the
All right,
schools were abandoned.
exactly, the schools were abandoned. That is because for him that time, he felt like what these people needed was school. They are not going to school. So if we build school, then they should be able to go to school, right? It's logical. It makes sense if you look at it that way. You're not going to school. So if I build school for you, you should be able to go to school, right? Does it not make sense? Does it not make sense, guys? Hello?
it does.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does. It makes sense.
It does. So why do you think the people abandoned the school and nobody attended? Nobody sent their kids to attend the school. Why do you think that happened?
Let's say for me, maybe lack of good management and supervision.
Okay, lack of good management and supervision. Any other
I
person?
also say there's a thing of okay. Please go ahead.
Okay.
You can please raise your hand and then moderator will call you to speak. Abigail, please be on the lookout because I can't see everyone at once. Anybody that raises their hand, please invite them to give their contribution.
Oh, okay. Rabiat, please, you can go ahead. I'm seeing Rabiat, Johanna, and Sadia. Please, Rabiat, go ahead. Mute your mic. Unmute your mic. Thank you.
Okay. So I think for me it's a thing of priority, and okay, we might prioritize education, which personally I've been in the field for a couple of years now, and I I just think the government likes to paint it in a way that looks like they are really prioritizing education, but it's not so. So for the Almajiri, he might have built the school, but priorities, maybe the major priorities were not given to how they were going to be structured and developed, right? And having another government come after that, they might not take that some of those things that he has done into consideration. Maybe looking at the development of the school and maybe looking at how some of these things will continue. And from there, things might just go down. And another thing is okay, the people you are building this school for, they already have, I won't say I wouldn't want to say uh a mental belief that they don't deserve this thing. They deserve it. But mentally, they are quite, or let's say psychologically, they are inclined to a particular type of life, a life that they are used to,
They're
right?
used to,
So
yeah.
yes, so having to bring them into this kind of structures would take time, and these are things the government should have look out for,
Considered,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that contribution. Next person, Abigail.
Joanna, please go ahead. Joanna Bassi. Joanna, please unmute your mic and speak.
Okay. For me, I think maintenance and monitoring policy wasn't considered. That's why the structure collapsed.
Okay. Thank you so much, M&E. Any other person?
last person, we have Sadia Buhari Tanko. Please, Sadia, I'll mute your mic and speak. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. One important thing, I feel the program lacked sustainable plan for long-term funding, because I believe if you're planning something, you're envisaged that it should go ahead, but that was the main thing. They didn't really plan how to sustain it.
Thank you. That is amazing as well. And do we have any other person that wants to contribute, Abigail?
Oh, no, nobody for now. So please, Joanne and Sadia, you can drop your hand so that
Okay,
we know.
everybody has contributed.
Yes, please. Thank you.
All right. All right. Thank you so much, guys, for that contribution. That was amazing. You're all thinking like development practitioners and experts. That is wonderful. And your points are sorry, your points are really solid. So now, first off, when the government of Goodluck Ebele Jonathan was designing that solution for Almazri schools and out of school children, most of the people that he designed this thing for came out to say at the end of the day that he did not seek their opinion before going ahead with that design that he was doing. You know, we all know that Nigeria has an education problem, right? It's everywhere. North, east, west, everybody can tell you, yeah, Nigeria has an education problem. Nigeria has an education problem. This place has an education problem. The North has an education problem. Whenever they're talking about education, they mostly highlight the North as having like the highest number of out of school children, right? I think we're all aware of that since we're all in the development space. But then the problem is that each community has their needs and priorities. I think somebody mentioned that. Each community has their needs and priority. And if you're going into a community and you come with your own assumption, if I build this school for them, that should be all. It's okay. Their people are not going to school. So if I build school for them, they should be able to go to school. You're wasting your time and you're wasting your resources. That is why community engagement and community entry is very, very important in any developmental work that you're doing. You have to always go to the community, do a needs assessment to understand what exactly the community needs, what is their priority. For him building that school, that community at that point, that school might not have been their priority because there might be something else that would have prevented them from going to school even if the school was built. So there are causes, there are root causes to things. He now jumped and went to go and do the top one because, you know, the whole society is clamoring that the North needs education, the North needs education. But he went about it in the way that the North did not want. So at the end of the day, it was a wasted effort. So first of all, he could have gone into those communities, start with them, send his people to go and do like a needs assessment. What exactly do you want? Nigeria as a whole wants to, you know, education is at our forefront of things that we want to do. And your community is one of the communities that we believe if we can stabilize education in this place, it will greatly help Nigeria as a whole. But before we do that, how can we go about it? So you co-create with the developmental design with the people at mind. Remember, we said development practice has shifted from industries to the people. So the people has to be at the center of what you're doing. Co-create with them. How can we go about this thing to ensure that when these schools are built, parents will send their kids to school? So he did not do all of these things. This is why the structure collapsed. The building he built collapsed. People were like, you built the school, fine, it's there. Nobody's attending, nobody wants to attend it. That is because this is not our need. This is not what we want at this time. This is not the developmental need that we want. And then the person that mentioned their way of life is already in a certain way. That is where advocacy comes in. You want to build something like this, you engage them, you have to do an advocacy rounds and visits. Advocacy is just a way of reorienting them, like re-informing them, you're bringing something new to these people that this is not something that they are used to. How do you get them to buy into what you're bringing into for them? That is where advocacy comes in, and that is the advocacy. And this is all the steps that he had missed and just went ahead and just built the school, hoping that by the time he built the school, he has solved their problem. I'm going to use one of the works we do at ICF, for example. We work with Fulani communities, and in our very first Fulani community that we went into, education was our main goal as well. So we wanted to have the kids in the Fulani society, that Fulani community, go to school. We went in first with our needs assessment. We asked them, What exactly is going on? Why are your kids not going to school in this community? Do we have kids that are going to school in this community, and do we have those that are not going? If yes, why are you not going to school? And from our research in that community, we discovered that about 80% of them, that's a large number, 80% of them are not have never been to school before. We've tried to find out why do you guys not send your people to school? And they say they don't see the usefulness of education. Do you understand? They don't see the usefulness of education. So imagine that we did not go to find out, we'll just build the school, and then at the end of the day, our structure will be left there. Nobody would still attend our schools because they don't see the usefulness. But by the time we went to the school, and by the time we went to the community, we understood why they were not going to school. We now started advocacy for them, trying to enlighten them on the importance of education, what education would likely bring to them. And as God would have it, that time they were having like some land challenges. So people were trying to claim their land. We're using that as instance for them. So imagine that if people had gone to school, you had a lawyer in your midst, you'll be able to go to court, you'll be able to represent yourself. So with that, their eyes opened and they understood. And we didn't need to beg them anymore to send their kids to the school that we had erected for them. They were now the ones calling us, oh, our kids are ready. When are you going to come and take them to school? That is the difference. And that is what developmental work seeks to achieve. Sorry, next slide, please. I'm talking too much. Next slide, please. Ali, slide, what are we in?
This one is slide 8. You see it on the
slide
screen.
8.
Right? Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you. What is developmental practice? So in a nutshell, developmental practice is the application of knowledge, skills, and strategies to address social challenges and improve people's lives. Tying it back to what we said beginning, when we talked about community A, community B, child A and child B, talking about the different realities that people are living in. So in every community, inequalities exist. Some people are born with silver spoon, some people are born with wooden spoon. So as a developmental worker, or developmental space is just simply like a bridge trying to, address these inequalities, trying to connect the developed ones and the undeveloped ones. How can we support this undeveloped community to be able to achieve the same result as those in the developed space? That is basically it. So developmental practices include research problems. I've mentioned that. Engage communities, very, very important. Anything that you do without the consent and buy-in of the communities, you're just doing your own. Design interventions, mobilize resources, advocate for policy change, monitor progress, and then evaluate your impact. So now we're going to page 9, charity versus development. A lot of people these days do charity and then they confuse it with development work. For example, imagine a family is struggling to you respond. For a charity would address this problem immediately by giving out food to the family. And then what the development sector will do is to address its root cause. Remember we said anything that happens is root cause. Just like you guys had mentioned, the reason why people did not attend the school, those things that you guys had mentioned were the root causes that he had failed to address before building the school. So if you had addressed those root causes and built the school, people will be able to attend. So what the development person would do in this case of charity versus development, the development will first address the root causes. You ask questions like, why are these people hungry? What systems are failing that's making them to be hungry? By the time you can answer this question, your design, the intervention that you're going to design will be able to be permanent. It means next time, this family will not be hungry. The structure you put in place will ensure that this family doesn't remain hungry. But then a charity will just give them food immediately. Oh, this family is hungry. You give them food. By the time you give them food today to eat, tomorrow, are they going to be hungry or not? You can respond, guys. Hello? Are we still together? Am I too fast?
They'll still
Am I
be
too
hungry.
fast? Of
No.
course, of course they will still be hungry. And then you have to keep on giving them. That is why there's this African adage that says, do not give the person fish. You should teach them how to fish. That is basically the difference between development work and charity. So as a developmental worker, you're teaching people how to fish so that they can continually eat. But if you're doing charity, you're just giving the person fish, and every day you keep on giving them fish. So we're going to slide 10, principles of effective development practice. So at the core of it all, we have participation. People must be involved in decisions affecting them. Like we use Goodluck's case as an example. He never consulted the community to find out what exactly is going on with them. If he had found out from them, then they'll be able to co-create and co-design the solution to their problems. Inclusion, no one should be left behind. Every solution that you're designing should be inclusive. Men, women, children, adults, people with disabilities, are they able to access this solution? You can't say you're building a market in a community, and then in that market, all you did was you use stairs. There were no ramps, there are no elevators. So that automatically has excluded people with disabilities. Are you trying to say they should not come to market? Are they not human beings? Are they not part of the community? Are they not supposed to have access to community utilities like a market or a hospital? So your design should always be inclusive. Then accountability, organizations must answer to communities. Whatever you're doing, you should have a community at your mind, and you should always, carry them along and be answerable to them in your design. Then sustainability, benefits should continue after project ends. When you're designing a solution, if it doesn't have a sustainability angle to it, then that your solution is more or less like a charity, because it's not going to continue. It means it dies after you leave. So communities should be able to continue using that thing that you have brought in for them. For our school in the Ruga community, the school is there. Whenever they want to have a sort of learning, they can always go into that school and they can always teach themselves. That is the sustainability. The project doesn't end after Illmi Children's Fund leaves the community. Rights-based, people are rights holders, not passive beneficiaries. Ownership, communities must own their solution. Remember, if they don't own the solution, by the time you're gone, they might just pretend to be working with you. By the time you're gone, that's your intervention dies with you, it goes, and that is the end of it. So now, who drives development? Development is a shared responsibility between the government, civil societies, the private sector, international organizations, communities, and most especially you, who are the youth. So government creates policies and provides the public service. Civil societies like us, we support communities and advocate for change. The private sector, they create jobs and innovations. International organizations provide technical and financial support by all these grants and aids that they give. Then the communities, they are the ones that understand their local realities. They understand their problems. That is why you must always liaise with them before you can create any solutions for communities. And then the youth, you guys, we bring, because I'm a youth as well, we bring energy, we are innovative, and we bring the leadership. So understanding systems thinking. Sorry, I'm rushing. I'm trying to finish on time because we don't want to keep you guys here for too long. So understanding systems thinking. Example, school dropout. Why does this problem persist? Why do you think we're having lots of school dropouts? On the surface level, you might say people don't want to go to school and people are lazy. That is why they don't want to go to school. That is just on the surface level. But as a developmental expert, you're going to be thinking in systems. Why is there school dropout? You're going to be looking at problems like poverty, child labor, poor teaching, early marriage, violence, distance to school. These are some of the reasons why we have high levels of school dropouts in our society. And when we address all these root causes, that is when we can truly eliminate the problem of school dropouts in our society. So now going forward, we are on page 12, Aliu. What is humanitarian systems? Humanitarian systems respond to crises and emergencies to save lives, reduce suffering, and protect human dignity. For example, sometime last year there was a flood. I don't know. Can anybody remember the state that had the flooding? Was it Maiduguri or somewhere? Can you remember the state that there was a flood in the northern part of Nigeria last year? Can anybody remember?
Is it Niger? The one in Mokwa?
Is it
Is it the Mokwa flooding?
The one that was very, very, like, everybody knew about it. That it was carrying people and all of that. I know it was a state in the northern part of Nigeria. I can't really remember right now. But I'm sure you heard about it, right?
Yes.
So, for example, when that flooding happened, a lot of NGOs came together looking for how to support the people. At the immediate level, there are some things that needed to be done. The victims or survivors of that flood, they needed things like, medication, they needed clothes, they needed food. I remember even in Capital Hub, when I went to Capital Hub one day, I saw an NGO that they had put up a flyer that they were collecting donations for the victims of the flood. So people were bringing things like clothes, people were bringing mats, people were bringing medications, and especially children food for the kids that were affected in the flood. That is humanitarian. That is humanitarian support that NGOs and international organizations give to people. For example, the war in Gaza, the war in Palestine, all those supports that are being given, those food that are being dropped for them, that is humanitarian. We're talking about humanitarian now versus development. So those humanitarian assist are things that they are immediate things that you have to give to people that are undergoing humanitarian crisis for you to help alleviate their problems. For example, if Boko Haram or one of these bandit group attacks a community, the immediate response given to that community by evacuating the people, giving them shelter, trying to help to get them food, getting them clothing, getting them to IDP camps, that's humanitarian response. Those are the things that you immediately do to try to curb the effect of crisis in a given community. So there are systems that responds to crises and emergencies to save lives is immediate and reduce suffering and protect human dignity. Example of crisis, we have flood, we have conflict, we have disease outbreak, we have displacement, and we have food insecurity. For humanitarian principles, we have things like humanity, protect life and dignity, neutrality, do not take sides. It doesn't matter whether the person is from your tribe, whether the person is from your religion, it doesn't matter. You're there to provide support, immediate relief to everyone who is affected. Impartiality, assist based on need, not assist based on who you know. Then independence, it is free from political interest. Now, humanitarian versus development response. So imagine severe flooding affects a community. What happens next? For the humanitarians, this is what they will do. They will provide food immediately. Remember, this is a flooding. The people need to eat. They will provide shelter because most likely their homes have been destroyed. They don't have anywhere that they're staying. And then they will provide medical support because you know that when flood happens, injuries occur. Sometimes the flood carries people, sweeps them. It can hit you against something and things like that. So that is what a humanitarian response will most likely provide in such a situation. Then for the developmental persons, I shouldn't have even put this here. I would have loved to hear from you guys. When a severe flooding happens in a community, what would a developmental response be like? Livelihood recovery. These people, they've lost their source of livelihood. How can we support them to ensure that they are able to continue living? They're able to continue to be able to provide food for themselves. They're able to continue sending their kids to school. How can we improve their livelihood recovery? Improved infrastructure. What can we do in this community that ensures that next flood doesn't happen? What can we do to ensure that next flood doesn't happen? Are there drainages in this community? If there are no drainages, how can we create drainages? If the drainages are blocked, how can we unblock the drainages? Disaster preparedness. If this area is prone to flooding, you now have to advocate and teach the people on how to be prepared for disaster. What are the things that they can do, the little things they can do as a people to get themselves prepared? For example, a flood is about to happen. Are there things that you need to do in your houses? Are there things that you need to open? Are there channels that need to open? If it happens, are there medications that you need to have with you? Are there some kind of clothing that you should have with you when the rainy season is about to happen that can help prevent flooding? I'm not a flooding expert. I'm just giving for instance of what disaster preparedness can do for you. Climate resilience. Can we plant more trees? Can we advocate for you people to plant more trees in this your place so that flooding doesn't happen? Are there things that we can do to prevent it? This is the difference between humanitarian response and development response. Now, these humanitarians, once this flooding has happened and they provided you shelter, they've done this, they are done. They go back. Next year, when flooding happens again, they come back. They provide you with the support. They go back. Are we understanding the differences?
Yes.
So
I
in a
understand.
nutshell, if you're to give it one word, if you're to use one word to describe humanitarian and developmental response, what would it be? One word. This will help me to know whether you understand exactly what we're talking about. If we're to use one word or two words to describe the instances of what happens in developmental setting and what happens in humanitarian setting, what would it be?
Okay, developmental sector is lasting, while humanitarian um happens immediately. Just
Sorry,
to
I didn't catch what you said at first. Sorry.
developmental response is long lasting. It lasts
Mm-hmm.
the people for a long period of time, while humanitarian
Mm-hmm.
response
Mm-hmm.
assists them.
Okay. Thank you. Any other
Okay,
person?
so yeah, we have Joanna raising her hand.
Okay.
Joanna,
Basic needs at the when it happens.
Joanna, please go ahead.
Humanitarian response is immediate response to the situation,
Mm-hmm.
immediate intervention. Why development response is sustainable response.
Sustainable
It has to be
response, exactly.
sustainability. The intervention is going to
Exactly.
be sustainable, long term.
Mm-hmm. Long term. Perfect. You understand. Thank you. Another person that wants to contribute? Do you have any other contributions, Abigail?
no one. Please. Go
Okay.
ahead, please.
All right. Thank you. So I'm glad you understand. Simply put, humanitarian response is immediate. Their goal at that point is just to save lives immediately, to save lives and to what's it called? To save life and to preserve human dignity. That is what they do. While the developmental ones, they come afterwards to see how can we prevent this thing from happening in the future. Their solution is long term, is sustainable. And remember, when we're talking about long term design and sustainability, it means you have to design the response in collaboration with the community. You have to do a needs assessment. You have to truly understand what is happening in the community and understand the needs of the community and work together with them to ensure that you do it, you guys do it well and it's long lasting. Let's imagine a scenario. Imagine that flood happens in somewhere like Niger State, right? I'm in Abuja. I think that the reason why flood is happening in Niger State is because there are no drainage systems, there are no gutters. And I carry my team, I raise money, I go and do gutters in Niger State. What do you think will happen? Guys, what do you think will happen if I do that? Drawing from all the things that we've discussed so far, what do you think will happen? Hello?
Though it depends. That's if drainage was really the problem.
Mm-hmm. Remember, I did
That's
not go there. I did not go to check. I just sat in Abuja and said, I heard the news that flood happened in Niger State. And I said, I think the problem is drainage. Let me go and do drainage for them. And I go and do it. What do you think will happen?
If the drainage is done and is not the main solution, then it is a total waste of time.
Well, how do you think the people will react? What possible things can happen to that drainage that I did? What possible things can happen to it?
It will get clogged.
Exactly. They will definitely clog it. Yes, they will clog it. They would. So they will even turn it to their refuse dump. They will use it to dump refuse. Any other person? Issa Sani has something to say.
Issa Sani, yes, Issa Sani.
Thank you. I think the point I wanted to say that's already been said because I just want to say that it will be abuse That is all.
Exactly. Okay, now thank you so much. It shows me that you guys are understanding. So now let's say I went to this Niger State, I did my needs assessment, and I truly find out that yes, so true. This flood is happening because there is no drainage systems. And I consult with the community members, the different community groups that we have there, the religious leaders, their kings, all of them, the women leaders, the women. We have like a discussion, and they tell me, truly, the reason why we are constantly having flood in this place so is because we have no drainage system, and we would appreciate it if you do drainage system for me, and I do drainage system for them. What do you think will happen to that drainage system?
For me, the community is going to protect the drainage system and ensure that nobody litters and it doesn't get clogged. They will also stand and protect and make sure it works.
Exactly, bravo. That is it. You guys, you are understanding. Thank you so much. That is it. So this is why it's very important in the development work that you do. You always have to work with the community to deliver the solution that they truly need. I think somebody is raising their hand. Did somebody raise their hand?
No. Oh, okay. Hillary is raising his hand.
Hillary, okay, please go ahead, Hillary.
Okay, just to add to what she said. So in such a situation where you consult the community heads and leaders, even in your sense, if the drainage is faulty or maybe has a crack or any damage, they will call on community members to do a collaborative repair and maintenance, maybe sanitation, everything and all that. So and things like that we reduce.
Absolutely, you are absolutely correct. Exactly, that's what we're talking about. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. So now I think we understand the difference between humanitarian response now and development response. Now let's move on. So now going forward, the sustainable development goals. In 2015, world leaders adopted 17 sustainable development goals to create a more equitable world for everyone. So I'm going to do a quick test here. I have just 1 to 12. If anybody here can tell me goals 1 to 17, 1 to 17 immediately now, I would, you have a gift from me. Goals 1 to 17. Anybody? Just raise your hand. You're not going to browse it, because if you're browsing, we will know. Just raise your hand and tell us goals 1 to 17, if you know it.
But we only have 1 to 12 here.
The other 12, 14, 15, 5 is missing.
5 is missing. Okay. From 13, right?
Yes.
13 is climate action.
14.
13.
14 is now what?
Sustainable communities and I can't remember.
Okay. So nobody
17
knows
is
it. I will give
partnership for the goal.
partnerships. Everybody knows
16 is
17.
16 is justice something something.
It's okay. Thank you. So this is assignment for everyone. You have to know your sustainable development goals. It's very, very important because you're in the development space. So in 2015, world leaders adopted 17 sustainable development goals to create a more equitable, sustainable world for everyone by 2030. We're almost in 2030. It's like they will review their goals because we are nowhere near what they want to achieve. So we have different. Somebody is unmuted, guys. So we have different goals here. They're not really goal 12 here is not correct. Goal 13 is climate action. So according to these goals, which of these SDGs speaks directly to issues affecting your community? You don't have to tell me, you can just pen it down. You can just pen it down somewhere. Which of the goals are affecting your immediate community? So we're moving forward to why youth matter, basically to why you matter. For the youth, you're not just merely beneficiaries of the solutions, you are development actors, because what you bring to the table, you bring innovation, you bring advocacy, you bring research, you bring community mobilization, you bring leadership, you bring organization, and you bring entrepreneurship. So nothing about young people should be decided without young people. You know, I attended a youth summit sometime in, I think, March or April, and we had lots of young people talking. You know, these days they call all these engagements, youth engagements at the UN house, bring all young people together and they talk. And then somebody said something, a young person said something. The person said the youth is currently undergoing consultation fatigue. Do you guys agree? Do you agree that youth is undergoing consultation fatigue?
What is that? What is consultation fatigue? I know
Con-
I have not heard of this word.
okay, so consultation fatigue is basically when there's something needs to be done. They say let's have an engagement. They call the youth. They ask them, "What do you think this is going on?" You basically getting the youth opinion on something.
Mm,
You're constantly calling the youth and getting their opinion all the time. They're getting their opinion,
mm,
but then the youth are feeling like you keep on getting our opinion, but we're not seeing what you're doing with our opinion. So we're tired
mm,
of coming to tell you people what we think. That is the fatigue like tiredness. You guys keep on consulting us, trying to find out what we think. By the end of the day, you guys don't do what we tell you to do. Or even if you want to do it, you now use the old people to implement it, and then they will still do rubbish. So we're tired of people calling us to ask us what do we think. So that is basically consultation fatigue. That's what the person said. And sincerely, I agree with the person because I cannot remember how many conferences I've attended for youth matters. And at the end of the day, it seems like the discussion just ends on paper. Do you guys experience this? Have you had the chance to attend maybe any conference on youth matter?
Okay, I don't know if I can say one or two stuff about it, right?
Yeah, sure. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much, Tovia. Just like you mentioned, right? I think we had this conversation in office that most times there's a lot of conferences everywhere now in
Yeah.
Nigeria, and what we do is we talk, and nothing happens, and it has become a cycle, like in the sense that young people now find they've been able to even brand it like, oh, it's part of personal development, it's part of personal positioning and everything.
Yeah.
And we just go out there. If you go on LinkedIn or so, oh, I attended social conference, I attended social, then what's the end result? No implementation. And we can't implement when we don't have people from the political space, the guys that
Yeah.
implement it to be part of the conversation. So it's still the same circle for the past 5 years. I remember when
Yeah.
Millennium Development Goal was the main thing. Yes, Millennium Development Goal, everything. I'm an expert in it, and we kept on talking, and we found ourselves in that same circle again. So I totally agree with you. It's really
We're experiencing consultation fatigue.
like you mentioned. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing. Somebody's hand is up.
yes,
Rabiat, go
yes,
ahead,
yeah,
please.
yes. So another thing is, I think for me honestly, this is the first time hearing such word, and it's funny that there's actually a word for this kind of thing that we experience.
Yeah.
Because this is
Yeah.
something I experienced when I started. Okay, I can say last year I attended a lot of events. Or yes, last year, whenever I see opportunities, I'm there.
Mm-hmm.
But by the end of the year, I was now asking myself, what have I really done with all of this? Because it was just more of
Mm-hmm.
going there and sitting there for long hours, and there were not things that were really inclined to what I wanted or things that I did.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it
Yeah.
was just I was just stressing myself. Another thing is it just puts us in a confused loop. Like it will be hard for you to find what really interests you, because you are consulting for climate today, you're for decent work tomorrow, you're consulting for tomorrow.
Mm.
So you might be a consultant, like an all-round consultant, but for young people, I think it puts you in a very confusing loop where it will be hard to
Yeah.
find what you really
Yeah.
want
You're
to do
talking about this
sometimes.
today, tomorrow you're talking about that, next tomorrow
Yeah,
you're talking about this. So
yeah.
that is the problem. But now that brings me to the reason why we're hosting this training for you guys because we want to reduce the consultation fatigue for you. So instead of you now waiting for the government actors, the NGOs to do something, this is us empowering you to do something about the problems that you're seeing. This is us empowering you to create a change, to be the change that you hope to see in your communities. Yeah, now the change makers mindset. You see a problem. A change maker is someone that sees a problem. You look around and you notice what isn't working. And then you ask questions. You dig to find the root causes. Why is this thing actually not working? Instead of just giving it a label, like, for example, the youth are lazy. Why exactly are they lazy? Why do you think that is happening? Then, number 3, you challenge the assumptions. You question the status quo. Then, number 4, you build partnerships. You leverage the networks that you have around you to be able to provide the solution because no one knows these things alone. Number 5, you learn continuously. You grow from every experience. And number 6, you take action, which is very, very important. And here are the essential skills for developmental practitioners. You all are now developmental practitioners. So here are the skills that you need to possess. Communication, you need to be able to communicate. That is why I'm super happy that I'm glad that some of you are bold enough to contribute to, lend your voice to these discussions that we're having, because once you're communicating, you're building yourself up, and before you know it, communication will not be a problem. When you stand at a global stage, you're not going to feel shy or feel scared to stand up and say something about things that are going on in your community. Leadership, research, advocacy, critical thinking, project management, community engagement, monitoring and evaluation, digital literacy, and empathy, because of course you have to put yourself in the shoes of the communities of the people that are passing through the problem for you to be able to actually provide solutions for them. So we're going to do a little bit of activity. How many of us are here, Aliu? How many change makers do we have in the class?
About 8 of us. I must say
no, minus the ICF team, just the change makers.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3.
Yes, we are 8.
5. Yeah, 8.
8. Okay. So Abigail, you're going to help me divide the 8 of them into a group of 2. That's 4, 4. And here is what you're supposed to do. You're going to your group is supposed to address a pressing issue affecting young people. Once you address, just write it down. Then the root causes of the issue, who is affected, existing efforts and responses. What are some of the existing solutions to solve that issue? And you guys are now going to bring out your own possible solutions. Who are the stakeholders you need to engage for these your solutions? And then what role can you play to enact this your solution? Just 5 minutes to do this, and then you present. We are going to have group 1 and group 2. Abigail, please share them into 2 groups, and then they'll carry out this work. We're almost done.
Yeah, it was too much. Yeah.
Abigail, over to you, please.
So, Toby, are they presenting now?
Yes, they'll present it now. It's just a 5-minute exercise.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They can discuss it in the WhatsApp group. Are we able to create breakout room here? Ali, is it possible?
Okay, let me see.
Does Google create breakout room?
I think only Zoom does that. I don't know. I've never tried it. So how about we allow them meet after the class and get to talk about and during the week they could just send their findings.
Assignments on the group. Okay.
Yes.
All right, that is okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
so you just help. So you just help. Yeah. You just help drop the conversation better in text.
Okay.
Okay, so should I let you know your groups now or after the class?
No, let them know their groups now, please.
Now, okay. So group 1, somebody left the call already. So group 1 will be Sani, Sani, Olga,
add the person in a group, or the person that left the call, since they were here, add them in the group. They will do their assignment.
Oh, okay. So group one is Issa Sani, Olga Lillian, and Rabiat Muhammad. Group 2, Sadia, Simon Mercy, Hilary, and Joanna Bassi. Do we know our group now? Please just give a thumbs up or okay. So I'll go again. Group 1, Issa Sani, Olga Lillian, Rabiat Muhammad. Group 2, Sadia, Simon Mercy, Hilary, and Joanna.
Okay, so maybe
All
we
right.
also put it on the WhatsApp group so that they can easily
Yeah.
interact. Yeah.
Yes, we'll
All
put
right.
it on the WhatsApp group. Thank you so much, Abigail.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. So Aliu has saved you guys. You do the assignment and then you put it on the WhatsApp group. So maybe at my discretion, looking at the work, I might decide to assign a gift or a prize to the best group at the end of the day. But maybe I'm not promising, or maybe. So now let's move. Your responsibility as a youth development lab participant. So this lab is not about attending sessions. I remember mentioning this on your introductory session. It's about becoming a solution provider. You learn, you observe, you engage, you innovate, you collaborate, and then you act. Because if you learn, engage, and do all these things and you don't act, the problem will still persist. You're waiting for somebody else to be the one to bring the solution. You take the champion, take the lead, and provide the solution to the problems that you're seeing. Communities do not change because problems are identified. Communities change because people take responsibility, which is what we're training you here today to be able to take responsibility. So now here is your personal action challenge. This is for you personally. You don't have to share this. The issue I care about is dash, you write it for yourself. The first action I will take in the next 7 days is dash, you write it for yourself. The stakeholders I need to engage is dash, you write it for yourself. The future is made by people who decide to act today. And here is my closing reflection. Development is not the responsibility of government alone. It is not the responsibility of NGOs alone. It is not the responsibility of donors alone. Development happens when ordinary people like you and I decide that the challenges around us are our businesses. The future of our communities will not be shaped by spectators. It will be shaped by change makers. Welcome to the development journey. Thank you so much for working with me on this session. Thank you. We've come to the end of our session today.
Please, let's give a round of applause for Tovia. Thank you. I'm already seeing your reactions. Thank you so much, Tovia. That was an insightful presentation, and I really learned more from you. Thank you very much. Please, everyone, let's say thank you to Tovia, either by clapping, by celebrating her, and let's just say thank you to Tovia for an insightful session. And please, going forward, if you have a question, this is the right time to let us know, that by raising your hands up or typing it in the chat box, please. Does anyone have questions for? Oh, okay, I'm seeing Hilary. Hilary, please, you can go ahead and unmute your mic and ask your question. Thank you so much, Tovia, for the session.
Okay. The question was when she was actually teaching now, she said the number 12 sustainable development goal is actually not correct, if I'm not mistaken, right? I don't know if she could actually help us with the right goal for the number 12.
Yeah, she made mention of it in the while she was talking that SDG 13 is for climate change and not for 12. Tovia, do you have anything to say to that?
All right.
Hello, Tovia, can you hear us? Aliu?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, this is Tovia still on the call. I don't think she can hear us.
Yeah, she is on the call. Yeah, she's on the call. Let me just chat her up. But thank you very much, Mr. Hilary. Your concerns are well noted. Thank you for also identifying that. And that's one of the things we want to champion with the YDL, whereby young people can see problems ahead and also prefer solutions. She's definitely going to correct that. So thank you so much. Any question? I think I can assist while Tovia comes back.
Okay, please, if you have any other question, you can raise your hand and ask, please. Um, please, do you have any question, contribution, recommendation? Please just let us know. And please do well to also, just like Simon Mercy did last week. Sorry, I'm saying Simon Mercy because that's the name Ali told me, referenced us last week. You can also make a post.
No, that's actually Rabiat Mohammed.
Oh, okay, Rabiat, thank you. Rabiat, thank you so much. Please, we can also make a post and tag us and let us know what you have learned. Okay, if you do not have a question, let us know what's your take home, what's your key take home for today.
Yeah, I think I can see Larry and Mr. Isa Sani. They are both ends are raised. Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Isa Sani, please go ahead and give us your question, your recommendations, or your contribution.
Okay, thank you so much. Mine is a kind of just a contribution, not a question, because I must confess that Tovia took us well, and I appreciate everything because
Thank you so much.
Everything she says is quite understanding, and I appreciate the entire crew because it is not only her. Thank you all, and Illmi and everyone. Yes, so I think what I would like to say is, in fact, she made mention of a community of the flooding, and that happens in my community. And while I had that, but that's Mokwa in Niger State. I'm from Mokwa. And yes, that was where the flooding occurred last year. And thousands of people were lost. And up to date, as we speak, many homes, thousands of homes are yet to recover.
Wow.
Yes. So, wow. And the flooding, like just as she mentioned, she mentioned earlier in her presentation, so it extended up to nearby communities, Rabat, and the rest. So that is the only thing I just want to contribute. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Isa. Thank you very much. Please, does any other?
Hi guys.
Welcome back.
I was lost for a minute.
Welcome back. So
did somebody reply Hilary's question?
Yes.
Did somebody give Hilary an answer?
Yes, I did. But do you have anything more to say to this question?
Yeah, he was asking for what SDG 12 is, right? That's sustainable consumption and this thing.
Okay, Mr. Hilary, are you satisfied with the answer?
Yes, I am.
Did you give him the answer? Sustainable.
Thank you very much.
Sustainable consumption and production, yes.
Okay. Please, does anyone have Rabiat? Do you have anything to say? Do you have any contribution?
Nothing. Yeah.
Joanna, thank you so much for your contribution today. You participated actively throughout the session. Joanna, do you have anything to say? Okay, I can see Isa Sani raising his hands again. Please go ahead and speak, please. Mr. Isa? Oh, okay, maybe that was a mistake from his own end. Okay, so our founder is no longer on the call. This would have been the perfect time for her to speak to us, but since she's no longer on the call, I think Ali, do you still have any other thing to?
Yeah, thank you all for taking your time to spend it with us. Weekend are always very busy in Abuja now, particularly in Nigeria as a whole. But kudos to you all for spending the past few minutes or hours already with us. Well, the executive director will join us some other time. We're also looking at a proper session where we all will get to talk about. You asked her how she has been able to, keep this fire burning over the past 15 years. Like I mentioned earlier, she was one time recognized, I think 2022, she was recognized by the United Nations. It was an award that for 2022, she was the only African woman to have gotten that award. So she's definitely going to come on air to, talk to us about it in due time. So thank you very much. And please, our next session will be on leadership. Dr. Peter Esole will be taking us on that. I really, really encourage us all to attend. And please feel free to always ask questions on the group or send your messages. We are available 24 hours to respond. So thank you all once again. Thank you, Tovia. Thank you, Abigail. It's always nice to have you all join us to support the mission. I think Zainab just joined us, but she did make mention that she'll be joining late. Thank you, Hilary. Thank you for your contribution and concern. Joanna seems like the most active change maker. Thank you always. Thank you, Rabia. For a few minutes yesterday, I had to go through Rabiat's profile online, and she's doing a great job around education and around the social impact space. I mean, there's one post that got to me when she made mention that some persons were asking her, why wouldn't you just go get a job? Why are you doing this? So kudos. I want to tell you, you're doing a great job. And in due time, you'll be well recognized. Thank you, Sadia, for all you do.
Thank
Always
you.
joining on time. So don't worry. I check each and every one of your profile in due time. I just get to look at it. So thank you all once again. And over to you, Abigail, as we gradually come to a close.
So as we come to an end for today's session, I want to say a really big thank you to Tovia for the enriching and insightful session. Thank you so much, Tovia. And please, I'm encouraging us, sorry for that one, I'm encouraging us to please continue to reflect on today's lessons so that we can apply them in our daily lifestyle, especially as we have decided to be a change maker in our own little way. So thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for your time. Thank you for and thank you especially to Joanna. She was so active today. Thank you very much. We really, really appreciate it. And we hope to see you next week, Saturday. Thank you very much. I think we come to the end of the program. Thank you, Mr. Hilary. Really appreciate your presence. Thank you, everybody. Mr. Isa, thank you so much. Thank you, Rabiat. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. So concerning the assignments, I will put it on the group again so that we can know our group. So for group 1, I'm stating it again: Zainab, group 1, Isasani, Oga Lilian, and Rabiat. While group 2 is Sadia, Simon, Hilary, and Joanna. Thank you so much, everyone. All right.
All right. Thank you, Abigail. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Tovia, well done. Abigail, kudos.
Thank you so much. Tovia, well done. It was an insightful moment. Even me, I did learn new things. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Happy weekend. See you all on Monday.
Yeah, see you too on Monday.
Yeah. That's